end zone. No one can STOP. Can I make a scene like a movie? Feeling big, keep it juicy before we start getting unruly. I've been hooping like a hoolie, keep it coolie before I stuff you in a locker like a bully. Like a bully in the work. You can see my fingernail dirt. I'm the last one to leave, even when I come first. And you might want it bad, but I'm sure I want it worse. I'ma do it 'cause I love it. I'ma love it till it hurts. What's the worst that can happen? Captain, I'm strapped in. No, I'm not crazy, I'm just tapped in. Hungry like I'm fasting. I'm about that action, no slacking. Well, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. 'Cause here come the pain. No one to call up for help. No one to blame but yourself. You should have known better, however you did it, so we had to come ring your bell. Like I need a award, wait until I score, make it rain till it pour. I'm a dog on fours, put in work like a chore till I'm underneath the floor, in the trenches like a war. If they wanna give them more, when I touch down, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touch down, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touch down.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, we write a finish to Week 12 with a good Monday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That was well defense right there. He saw the play in front of him and able to hold the point of attack. Then he sheds him and goes and makes a tackle for a loss.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. The Colts had 5 and 6 to start play, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On the ground with a tight end, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. That ball caught by Campbell. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there at 22. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Steelers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're number one. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. This defense for the Colts, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, it goes against their offense and have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On the counter, it's Taylor. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Looking for Campbell downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The defense, they weren't fooled on that post route. They just couldn't make the play.
And the offense definitely tried to fool them, because you saw the other route combinations, didn't you? Anything that they were running trying to draw attention away from the deep part of the field, but still had it covered, yet they were able to come up with a nice play.
And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alec Pierce, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Dances by him, and he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash too.
Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Steelers will take over here just shy of the 30. So the penalty on the offense, no need to accept that. They'll decline it, and the interception will stand. Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10. Just shy of the 30. They go play action with Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half, because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Cohen. And some room to work. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 56 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ends up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
And it's caught. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point put through by Boswell. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Meanwhile, Ryan's throw pulled in by Woods. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, Ryan. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Many times the mindset of a play caller after a quarterback's thrown an interception on the previous drive is to come right back and give them a throw to get their confidence back. Give them something easy, get a completion, kind of get them settled again. Instead, this ball was tipped in the air and almost turned into an interception. Offense trying to make a big play, defense trying to make a big play, turned into an incompletion. So now maybe they can back off a little bit, try to relax him, and get him something that'll work.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Devin Bush sprinting behind the line to track down the ball carrier.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field. I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Now on 2nd and 13, Ryan. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The Colts on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd down and 12. From the shotgun, Ryan looking for Campbell downfield and unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worse with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. 62 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They try again with Cohen, and he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. First down, a run with Cohen. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Pickett will look to pass it. That's caught. It's Austin left side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll run up the middle with Cohen. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Pickett. Oh, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half. But the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
Try him with Pickett here on 3rd down. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. The field's pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a first down.
A run between the tackles with Cohen. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Looking to throw, Pickett. Eluding the pressure right. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Kenny Pickett, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Steelers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee, as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it. The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And yet again, Ryan is intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
Flushed out right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 97 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. On first down, they go right back to Cohen. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
From the 45 on second down, Pickett. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum. Big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. That's caught. He gets it out to Austin. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
He's got this to Pickens. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. George Pickens with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Steelers go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now 21-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. And now, well, boy, this is a bit of a surprise. To be kind, they accepted the holding penalty, so wipe out the interception, and their defense will stay on the field. Okay, so the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's a bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Colts pick it up. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now a handoff to Cohen running left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 110 yards rushing here for Cohen. He's got a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick. He's been decisive. And he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Gets this out wide to Pickens. Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there. Pickett back to throw. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Pickett's throw completes to Freiermuth. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 44-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10, here's Pickett. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On the handoff, it's Cohen. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
From the 27, Pickett. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cohen. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
They certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else.
Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. Deontay Johnson with his second touchdown of the night. And the Steelers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Extra point now by Boswell. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's got Pierce. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the fourth quarter. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Off the option, here's Taylor. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
He's got room at the 30. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Ryan. A throw on the money there to Doolin. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Ryan. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. On the give, this is Cohen. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Again, it's Cohen.
And this is going to be a Steelers first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. We've got them now.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now with shotgun handoff to Cohen. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
It was Quiddy Pay who made the stop coming off the edge.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
This is Cohen. And a solid run down inside the 30.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
And they will take a knee here.
Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So for the Steelers, the win is a good one for morale, but little else as they move to 3-8. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead they fall to 5-7. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.